they're being mic'd up, I'm giving this microphone to Juan Carlos so he can introduce.
Thank you very much. I think this is very timely to have this event right now. I think, as you may know, there was a high-level breakfast this morning, co-chaired by the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Ms. Amina Mohammed, and by the Minister of Environment of Mauritania, who is now the chair of the Council of Ministers overseeing the Great Green Wall Initiative. And I think there is a very strong commitment, both from the countries, and I think I always, as somebody just said, I want to emphasize this is a unique African-led initiative that's been accompanied by several technical and financial partners. And what we heard this morning in that breakfast, both from the ministers as well as the respective heads of agency, is really a strong commitment to accelerate implementation in this initiative. And I like to link it to the broader view that we need to take of the Great Green Wall. This is not just about hectares of reforestation or afforestation. It is also about improving livelihoods, really what's people living at the forefront of the fight against climate change. And I'm using that phrase because it's one of the phrases that introduces the trailer of the Great Green Wall documentary that we will be seeing in a moment. I think the idea behind this documentary, and I would like to I'll thank in a moment the many partners, because while this was co-produced by the UNCCD, really is the outcome of the joint efforts of many. Really, this documentary shows the importance of mobilizing people, of using culture as a way to deliver a strong message of hope, and also a message that there are walls actually that unite people, and that there are many opportunities that come out of, in this case, the Sahel and the countries of the Great Green Wall. This documentary is really a musical journey, and I think we heard also from the Senegalese singer Baba Mal this morning that strong message about the importance of culture to be really an engine of change. And I think whenever we speak about the work that this convention does, and we are asked for examples of country-led initiatives that are making a difference, we always talk about the Great Green Wall, because it is such an inspiring work. This documentary, it's the director is Fernando Mireles, who's an Oscar-nominated Brazilian director, and it features the Malian singer Ina Moja doing a musical journey across the Great Green Wall. I think, I hope you'll be as inspired as I was the first time I saw it. And I just actually got an email from a friend of mine who saw it recently. It was shown in the offices of UNEP in Nairobi, and she said it really led me to tears of joy and hope. So I hope the same thing happens to you. As I said earlier, this is a work in which many partners were involved. I have terrible memory, and I don't want to leave any of the important partners out, so I'm going to read this last part. We would like to take the opportunity on behalf of the UNCCD to give a warm thank to all of the partners, which are, in addition to the GEF, the Connect for Climate Initiative through the World Bank, the European Commission, Irish Aid, the African Union, SOS Sahel, 3 and others. With their incredible support, this would not have been possible. Thank you.
Restoring the land is a matter of survival. It's up to us to create an African dream.
We're talking about revitalizing the ecosystem, the economy of communities and villages. The future generation will hold us accountable.
If people can't work their land, millions across the region will be forced to migrate.
Le combat, moi je peux dire avec le combat, j'ai déjà entendu à ce combat sans te rendre compte. J'ai eu 4 amis qui ont pris la balle.
The Great Green Wall is not just about planting trees. It has to become a movement from the whole continent, from the whole world.
So this is just the trailer. That's not the full film. The full film is 90 minutes. Was premiered, yes, in Venice. I think the film festival Venice 2 weeks ago. And now I would like to give the floor to Elvis. We will have a little bit of a shorter version of the full film after Elvis. But first, I give you the floor, Elvis, please.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, let me sincerely thank the GEF for inviting me here to talk on behalf of the Africa Union Commission on the Great Green Wall program. I think this film, as Carlos said, can really, it goes deep into the heart, and it clearly brings out everything that we're talking about the Great Green Wall. I can't wait. We can't wait to see the full film. I don't know when that opportunity will come up, Carlos. And apart from this film, I think this morning, for those who were opportune enough to be here early, there was this breakfast, a high-level event on the Great Green Wall, which was also very, very touchy, it brought out the passion, because you could see that there is now a new Great Green Wall now is taking another level. We have had many conferences, many meetings, and many engagement on the Great Green Wall, but the one here during this COP in India was more than just the normal workshops and the normal engagements from politicians. This was really different. We have the GEF, the lead of the GEF that clearly talk about the previous support and the engagement that will be coming up in the GEF funding. We talk, the UNDP director talked clearly about how the UNDP is going to get more involved. And everybody else that was in the hall was, apart from just talking, you could see that they were really passionate about it. If you listen to the Italian Minister of Environment, you would have known that this is more than just a land restoration or sustainable development program. This is about transforming lives and livelihood in one of the most challenging areas of the world. Here we're talking about the Sahel and the other drylands of Africa, both in the Sahara region. So there was a lot of engagement that we are going to work on. We are going to immediately after this COP, we are going to engage our international partners and also the member states to keep on to this engagement for them to bring out the concrete nature of what they want to do. And within the framework of the Great Green Wall at Africa Union, this morning there was also a discussion about the follow-up high-level forum, which will be the Heads of State Forum on the Great Green Wall next year. And the Deputy Secretary General of the UN and my commissioner, who was here, took an engagement that next year they are going to take it higher to the heads of state. So there are a lot of things coming. We have to keep the momentum. All of us sitting here, when we go back, we need to keep on looking in our programs, in our projects, what are we going to do? This afternoon I was talking with the Holy See, with our with the Papa Nuncio from the Vatican. We talked about how the Vatican is taking upon itself to promote the Great Green Wall. So it's no longer just a project. It's no longer just a restoration initiative. It is going to new areas. Now the Holy See informed us about the planned program that will be coming up very soon in Vatican, where the Great Green Wall will be one of the initiatives that they are going to promote. So this goes beyond the development and development partners. Here we're talking about touching the soul. That is the way I saw it when I finished talking with the Papa Nuncio to India and to his colleague from India. So Carlos and GEF and all our partners of UNDP, of the SADC, I think the Great Green Wall now has taken another level. And we have to follow up with that. So for this year, apart from the high level that will be coming up, certainly in February during the Heads of State Summit in Addis Ababa, we also have other programs. As you know, we are looking at upscaling the practices, the best practices from the Great Green Wall, from the Sahara to the SADC region, the Southern Africa drylands. And we are working with our colleagues of the Southern Africa Development Community Secretariat to ensure that the lesson learned over a decade from the Sahel and the Sahara region let our brothers of the Southern Africa drylands, because they have some of the driest lands. As you know, we have the Kalahari, we have the Namib Desert. And these areas are sometimes, some areas are far drier than, and more difficult to live in than the Sahel, the Sahara, and the Horn of Africa. So we are now looking at upscaling the actions of the Great Green Wall to the Southern Africa region. And this one is a call also to all our partners that are involved in development to get with us and let's go on together. We have been working with IUCN on this, the IUCN SADC region in general. We've been working with all the other partners, global water partnerships, and all the other partners that are intervening in the Southern Africa region. So I'm happy that Jeff is here. There are the money people. We are waiting on you. Apart from supporting our member states, you also have to support the coordination, because that is one, if you listen to what the ministers, our high-level segment this morning, it was about coordination. There's a need for coordination. There's a need for clear strategy. And for it to be done, it cannot be done at the level of member states only. You have to use Apex organizations. You have to use our international partners for those who are intervening across the board. So Before I go on, I will just say thank for being here. I have my brothers there from IFAD and all of you, UNDP, SADC, and everybody in our member state. Please, let's keep the momentum. As we saw from the film, it's now a movement. Let's all, Carlos, all, the World Bank, let's all be part of this movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Elvis. Okay, so now you get the second amuse-bouche, as we say in French, a bit a short version, a longer version than the trailer, but also a short version of the actual film. Can you show it? Sound.
Concrètement, qu'est-ce que c'est la
On considère que ça va être des mosaïques telles qu'ils sont restaurées. Si on a ces mosaïques qui sont touchées, la grande muraille, ce n'est plus de 7
Now it's
kilomètres. Il va dans le Sahel. En 2008, on a mis en place ce qu'on appelle l'agence planifiée.
La vision globale, c'est de la grande muraille et de s'attaquer résolument aux principaux fléaux environnementaux et climatiques.
Mais là, c'était quelque chose qui était conçu par les Africains et qui était mis en œuvre par les Africains. C'est une grande mission. C'est un grand défi pour vous, mais pour les générations qui vont venir.
L'ambition, c'est combattre la désertification, c'est créer des projets solidaires dans les communautés. Ça m'a intrigué.
C'est la communauté qui fait la place. Ça, c'est important. On ne peut planter que dans les deux. C'est la journée de le mois de septembre. Donc, c'est le moment. Et vous voyez que la possibilité va faire. Si on ne la fait pas, vous serez obligé de partir. À travers cette action, nous sommes en train de reconstruire la vie. Nous sommes planter une arbre qui, dans 10 ans, va grandir et produire pour les communautés.
It's ambitious because it needs us to act on it. The future generation will hold us accountable. We need an uprising for the Great Green Wall. A youth peaceful uprising.
I might probably never see the end of this project, but we sow the seeds in our lifetime, so other hands may harvest. I cannot say we're going to be all right. It's up to us to write that story. It's up to us to create an African dream.
I always check whether our logo is on it.
To
Okay,
achieve
so
anything ambitious,
Yeah, I hope you got the feeling for it. This film, the full version, is going to be shown at over 100 film festivals across the globe over the next year. So there's a big chance actually that you will be close to one of these screenings, right? Last but not least, Maggie, I think you have, of the World Bank, you have been engaged with this project as long as I have, at least, over 10 years. So please, you have the floor.
Merci. The Great Green Wall really started as a dream of our president in Africa. But I think that now it's becoming a reality. I've been working on the project since we started it at the World Bank. And I think it was summarized by Baba Miles this morning when he said, I want to stop seeing my sisters walking around carrying water and going home to still have to find ways to feed their family. The Great Green Wall now is becoming a reality. When you go through the Great Green Wall, we go through villages, thousands of them. We go through diverse cultures. We meet women, we meet mothers who pray that maybe next year my son will not have to migrate to Europe because there is no farm. We meet farmers who are hoping that maybe next year's harvest will be better. This is possible. Yakuba Sawadogo in Burkina Faso showed us that it is possible to restore these lands through the Sahel and West Africa project funded by the World Bank and the GEF. We've had many great examples. This morning I talk about how in Mauritania we're reviving the gum Arabic sector. In Senegal, we've had communities who for many years have only lived with milk and meat. Now they have vegetables to eat. In Ghana, we're working with women who now are developing business in shea butter. In Ethiopia, we're working with youth who now can have title to the land in exchange for restoring their landscape. At the World Bank, we've been engaged with this program of $1.1 billion, and we are saying engage. With Connect for Climate, we're going to launch a campaign. The objective of this campaign is to show to the world the human face of degradation, the human face of desertification. Through our convening power, we hope to bring together partners, civil society, religious leaders, and the private sector to make sure that this hope, this dream can become a reality. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Maggie. Okay, unfortunately, time is tight, but you can read more about that because this week, we, together with the World Bank, we just produced a new flyer, this brochure about the Great Green Wall Initiative. Has a lot of interesting stuff in it and the correct language, I hope. And so I can encourage you to go to our website under documents, publications.